Across Kenya and the world, businesses are rethinking how to grow, not faster, but smarter. In a rapidly changing economy, sustainable growth depends on innovation, diversification, and understanding emerging markets. Kenya's economy grew by 5.6% in 2024, one of the fastest in sub-Saharan Africa, according to the World Bank. Yet, more than 60% of micro and small enterprises struggle to scale beyond their first 5 years due to limited market access and capital. Globally, nearly 80% of executives say market expansion is a top priority for the next 3 years, but few have clear strategies for navigating competition and technological change. Innovation has become the lifeline of growth. In Africa, businesses investing in research and technology report up to 30% higher productivity than those that don't. Kenya's own innovation ecosystem, from financial technology to agricultural technology, continues to attract global investors, positioning the country as an East African business hub. But sustaining growth isn't just about technology, it's about strategy, aligning products, people, and processes to changing market needs. Diversifying products and expanding into new markets remain key to long-term success. The African Continental Free Trade Area opens access to a market of over 1.4 billion people and a combined GDP of $3.4 trillion, a game changer for businesses ready to scale beyond borders. Locally, expanding within existing markets can also unlock growth, whether through digital transformation, strategic partnerships, or customer-centric innovation. As competition intensifies and markets evolve, one question remains: how can organizations grow sustainably, innovate boldly, and expand strategically? Join Sally Limo and the panel on Family Matters as they explore strategic growth and market expansion, unpacking the principles, possibilities, and pathways to building resilient organizations for the future.
Wow, a great opener right there. Very good morning to you wherever you're joining us this morning, the 5th day of November, I almost said January, by the way. 5th day of November 2025, wherever you are. Thank you so much for making time to be with us on this financial clinic where we are having doctors this morning when it comes to matters insurance, the insurance industry. I have the experts right here with me. So to be part of this conversation, you can do that through 20316 SMS line or 0786316316. That is our WhatsApp line, just to be part of this conversation, just to ask your questions if you have any concerns, and even to give feedback, be part of this and join us. And remember that we're talking about matters, strategic growth and market expansions. And the insurance industry is actually at crossroads right now as we speak. So traditional models are actually being challenged by digital innovation. That is one of the things, evolving customer needs, as well as a rapidly changing risk landscape. So then, how does this help the market, especially in the insurance industry? So this morning we're exploring strategic growth and market expansion, and helping me unpack that will be an amazing panel of my guests who, as said earlier, are experts on these matters, and they'll be introducing themselves fully. Mr. Mwangi and Arap Lagat, who are here with me in studio. My name is Sally Limo. Welcome to the conversations, and let's do this, gentlemen. Karibuni sana.
Asante sana. Thank you for having us.
Asante sana. So I'll start with you, Mr. Mwangi, to introduce yourself. Then we come to Arap Lagat for the scene.
Thank you. My name is Anthony Mwangi, and first of all, thank you very much for having us this morning to discuss insurance. I am a member of what we call Association of Insurance Brokers of Kenya. This is the association that brings all the registered brokers in the Republic. I'm an insurance practitioner for the last 30 years. So that's what I have been doing for those years.
Wow. Okay. That's why I said experience. There it is. Yes. Arap Lagat.
Thank you, Sally, for hosting us today. As you said earlier, it's correct. My name is John Arap Lagat. I'm the current chairman, Association of Insurance Brokers of Kenya.
Right.
Association of Insurance Brokers of Kenya is now 70 years old.
Wow.
No, 55 years old. We started in 1970.
Okay.
So now we are celebrating our 55 years. But I also work for Sapon Insurance Brokers.
Okay.
In terms of experience also, I'm 29 years, just 1 year shy of my colleague
Wow.
Anthony. And maybe just for your information, I took over the chairmanship from Anthony. So
How
in other
possible
words,
is that? Okay.
I'm with my mentor.
So there's a lot of knowledge here, right? This
Yes,
morning.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Tumekana wazee wa wisdom.
Yes,
Imejaa hapa. Karibuni sana. I'm glad to be having you. And from, our explainer, when it started, they talked about, the market expansion being a top priority right now, Anthony. I don't know if that's the same for you. Is that your feeling from where you sit? Is it a necessity right now in the insurance sector?
Certainly it is, and obviously for us, numbers really count a lot.
Right.
Because if businesses are not growing, then we also can't grow. And we're happy to see basically actually the country growing.
Yeah.
And people getting a little bit of more disposable income. So the expansion is also is very helpful. I think the other thing that we glad and able to see is the expansion also of the counties are also becoming now focal points of growth. Now they're also becoming economically viable and active. So that is also a bit of expansion also from our country side of it, in the sense that we are now seeing most businesses even at the county level. If you go to any county, wherever you go, you'll actually see a lot of growth, even on the ground. So that for us is quite good, and therefore for us. Expansion, like you actually say, it's very, very critical, because then that means the sustainability, and I think the whole of this week, and most likely we talk about that, we will be talking a little bit over sustainability. So it is very, very important that we also continue to grow and expand, not only within the region, but perhaps also, in the country, but also in the region.
Okay. Yeah. And for you, Arap Lagat, how then would you describe or define strategic growth when it comes to the insurance brokerage sector?
Yes, what I look at is we are now in a regime that is making insurance now think more. Okay. Now, that strategic growth needs a resilient broker. And brokers, as we speak now, they have upskilled their skills. They have now gone also digital, because we realize now majority of Kenyans are now having either smartphone or any tech facility. So the brokers now are also now taking advantage of that expanded digital network to grow their presence. So I'll say we are now in a state of strong resilience. Brokers now are participating more. Of course, in terms of insurance penetration, we are still not where we ought to be. Yeah. So, as you know, Kenya now, in terms of insurance penetration, we are still below 3%, which has been like that for the last many years. So, but what we are looking forward to now is we are tapping into technology, so that we are able then to see how do we grow it. And as you earlier on even asked, in terms of growth, we are in a situation where we are saying insurance is to solve a problem. Right. And the problem we are solving is to make sure members of public understand the insurance needs, because as is to protect assets. You don't want your hard-earned asset, you get a calamity and you lose it and you go back to zero. So we are trying to advise members of public that it is important to pay a small premium or a small fraction of what you have and protect it, so that in the event of a calamity, you are not reduced to nothing. You still have a place to pick up your life from. So in terms of solving that need, that's how then we now come into assisting the growth. So we are still urging people, members of public, to patronage and talk to the insurance brokers, and then the brokers will be able to understand their needs. And as we speak now, there are many needs that people have, but unless you speak to an insurance broker, you engage them so that they are able to advise you on what products are existing and how you can cover your assets and your other life issues, then you'll be lost. So we are still having a lot of opportunities to see that how do we assist our members of public. So I see the market as still resilient, we are still strong within the African region.
Okay,
Yes.
regional integration, which we'll be
Yes.
talking about in a
Yes.
few.
Yeah.
You know, Mwangi, when Arap Lagat has mentioned about the 3% penetration of insurance, that's quite low, isn't it? Or
Certainly is low, and I think he has put it very rightly. We have been talking about that for quite a while.
Yeah.
However, let's also appreciate that the rest of the economy is growing.
Okay.
When we look at sometimes when we talk about 3%, we're a little bit depressed because it's something that we have been saying for a very long time. However, if you look at the numbers are growing. We were still 3% when we were doing 250 billion. We are now 400 plus billion, still 3%. Because remember, as insurance grows, the rest also of the economy is growing.
Yeah.
And remember, not too long ago, we rebased our economy. So that essentially, and because it is 3% of GDP. And I think that's where sometimes we get a little bit of confusion.
Okay.
So it is not necessarily 3% of the people who are in Kenya, it's 3% of the GDP. So as it grows, the rest of the economy grows, the insurance also grows.
Okay.
However, we really need to do quite a bit. We ought to at least get to the African average or even the global average,
Yeah.
which be somewhere in the region of about 12% or
Okay.
thereabout. So we're still very far. However, what is interesting is that we are still number 3 in Africa
at 3%.
at 3%. So that tells you there is a huge growth chance and opportunity.
Okay.
And I think when you're talking about expansion, that's how we are looking at it.
Okay.
That even at that point, we are still doing very well in the African continent. So there is quite a little bit of work. And I think because of the resilient and the nature of the insurance industry in Kenya, we have opportunity
Okay.
to also venture out in the rest of the African market.
All right. But what strategies then can be used, Arap Lagat, when it comes to that now? Just as much as top 3, fine, that's a good number, that's a good position to be. But again, we want even to be top 1. What is this that the first country is doing that we are not doing? And what are the strategies that probably you may have in place?
Yeah, what we've been doing for many, many years,
Yeah.
we've been concentrating our products mainly for the what you say urban class,
Right.
which mostly they reside in the cities. But what we are doing now, we have now decided, because there's a lot of growth from the lower class, the middle class. So there are a lot of people now in the middle class. So what we are doing now is to tap and develop products that can meet the needs of the middle class population. So that way you are able to bring more people into the insurance net. So that is one thing we are doing. Secondly, we are now using data. We've collected a lot of data as an insurance industry,
Okay.
data to understand our population, understand our needs. So we are utilizing now that data that we have to then understand the needs of our population. And that is why the growth of microinsurance now is going to be a game changer in the next few years going forward. Microinsurance is going to be a game changer because now you have even farmers, from far-flung areas, even like in Northeastern, who now understand the need of livestock insurance.
Yeah.
You have farmers who are, the small-scale traders in Gikomba and other regions that were not insured before, coming now into the safety net. So that is the bracket that we are bringing in. The next level is we are doing member education. We are using now the insurance regulator because you remember in our chain of a customer, it's only the regulator and the insurance broker.
Yeah.
Who is for the customer.
Yeah.
The rest, they may be looking to make money. But the people who understand the needs of the customer is only the insurance broker. So we are now using now that platform to take member education to the regions. And we are now, even as brokers, nearly in every county now, we are being felt.
Okay.
So we are using those the counties that have come up and we're now trying to do member education to our population. And then in terms even of making people understand the need to protect the little that they have. Because initially people are only buying what is compulsory, like in motor insurance. The population had not understood the need to cover the house. And then there was this perception that insurance is expensive. But it will tell you, in an average, the premium you will pay is less than 5% of the value of what you're having. So we are trying now to demystify that by now explaining to people the cost of insurance is not that prohibitive as people are imagining.
Okay.
Yes. And then now, as we've also said, we are also trying to participate strongly as Kenyans to make sure the economy grows from all sectors. Because when the economy grows and people have now disposable income, because remember, when you have needs, you will first go for food.
Right.
And the other basic needs. Insurance becomes the last item in your expenditure.
On the list.
In the list.
Yeah.
But we are now trying to say, if all of us were to participate to grow the cake of our economy, then people have more disposable income. And when you have more disposable income, it's at that point that you can now think of insurance. So we are trying to play our part also as insurance practitioners to make sure we fully participate to grow the economy. We fully participate to advise the government on how to do certain products. And one of the good things that I've told you is the broker is trying to, as much as possible, understand the needs of the customer so that we can develop products that can easily be sold to them. But also we have simplified the policy terms. Initially, when we were doing the policy documents, they were in small print. Now they are a bit big and in a simpler language. We are no longer using the Queen's English.
Yeah, because you look at those, when you hear policy, you see a lot of, small, tiny, and jargon and all that.
Yes.
So, I mean, that definitely would work for a lot of people. It would make even me want to read what it's all about.
Yes.
Let's talk about legal gaps based on your background in the legal space. What are some of those legal gaps that are there, and also policy, that probably still need to be addressed to make the, the insurance more competitive, the space more competitive?
Yeah, thank you. I think that's a very pertinent question. One, let's also admit that like any other sector of the economy, law is always a little bit lazy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It doesn't precede innovations. In most of the instances, actually comes to get the pace of the innovation. So yes, obviously we have some gaps, particularly if you look at the issues of data protection. There is a lot of data, and I think the chairman has actually alluded to that in terms of we are collecting a lot of data. I think we need a little bit of data protection has come in, but still we need more insurance sensitive or forecast regulations. For instance, we take a lot of data from people on their illnesses.
Yeah.
We take a lot of data where they live. How is this information protected? Who can access that information? Because when I come to your house, you give me the full description, perhaps almost the coordinates of where you stay. If you live in this location, I'll ask you the plot number, perhaps house number, how is it secured, do you have a guard? So I have a full knowledge about where you live and your property. Of course, the idea is that to protect you and everything else. But assuming that data goes into
the wrong hands.
So we need very clear, guided laws that can actually be able to say what happens to that kind of data. When it comes to our offices, who can access that data? Because at the point I'm picking that data and I'm sharing it, for instance, with the insurance company, it could be saved with me, right? But it's also, is it safe in the whole ecosystem of insurance? We give that information as well to other providers in the value chain, garages, investigators, assessors. They also get the same information as I have. Do we have integrity of data from the source to the end of it all? So those are some of the areas that I think we really need to come, first of all, give people comfort. One of the reasons why we have problems in insurance, and those are the gaps that perhaps you're talking about, is when I feel that my information perhaps may be used in the wrong way. When you give me your audit and accounts, because I want to do a billboard for you, or any other policy that you require, for instance, that I get your financials, would I share this information perhaps with the tax collector? Now, in the process, you might not want to give me the full picture of how you're performing. But remember, a day will come when I'm assessing perhaps a claim, where now I actually need the proper data again. Assuming there was a discrepancy, I would say you didn't give me the full material information that I needed. So there is a lot of gaps in that area in terms of how we do data. The other issue, of course, is that we need also very clear guidance, and I'm happy the IRA has read that path now, in terms of protecting the policyholder. Because at the end of the day, and when you say it all done, it all boils down to that customer.
Right.
Now, for instance, in the area of claims, that is one of the areas that we have not done 100%.
Okay.
We know in the sense that when should I pay your claim? If I, for instance, submit all my documentation, and by this time, do I expect my payment by when?
Yeah.
So there may be some gaps in that area. I know the law, even as we speak now, has of course given some sort of direction, I think 90 days after you've passed or given all the documentation. But is 90 days the best that we can? When we have jurisdiction globally where claims are perhaps paid on a minute basis, especially because of the advancement of technology.
Yeah.
Then there is also the issue of the insurtechs. There are a lot of people now who are also coming on board to basically do insurance. How well are they? Because yes, they can offer a very nice platform on how they collect your data. For instance, when you come to something like marine, we see a lot of people in the clearing sector who try and do marine insurance, but do they actually have the right capacity? So again, those are areas in law who should be able to do insurance. Thankfully for our industry, we are now for the first time have what we call Insurance Professionals Act. Now is an act which is just enacted. So we are hoping that everybody, just like a lawyer, a doctor, or any other person who now works in the insurance industry would then be, for lack of a better word, a professional in that industry. So those are some of the areas that we have gaps, but they're all, I would say, they're done very well. But of course, we still need to catch up with the innovations that are there.
All right. And, you know, you've talked about that data previously, and it's something that I was going to actually ask you, Arap Lagat, in terms of then, how can these brokers leverage tech to protect data? You know, this privacy, how can technology be used in this case?
Now, so what we are doing now, nearly all brokers now are registered as data center. So it means the information we receive, we protect it. So what we've done now, in various offices, you have a data officer. So that you have the data you collect, as Anthony had said, you make sure they are only used for the purpose the client gave you. So we have now harmonized that so that we do not make a mistake that the data we collect leaks out. And he has given you a very good example. When you do medical insurance, you have a lot of information about your client on this medical history. You wouldn't want that to go outside and some people use it. I was looking yesterday, I think yesterday in some social media, someone who has just decided to blackmail someone that is unwell. I mean, being unwell is a natural cause. But some people can use it negatively. So what our officers now are doing is to make sure that data is used properly. So it's safeguarded in a way that you do not misuse it. So we have captured it in a digital manner. It's no longer in paperwork.
That's very important for people to know.
Yes. Now we have captured it digitally. And even when we ask for information nowadays, we use digital platforms. We send you the proposal form, you fill in, and digitally, and then we archive it and use it only for the purpose that is used. We've also made sure that even the people we now use are people who are properly licensed. For example, in terms of the insurance companies, the hospitals that we use, there's other service providers. There are people that, you know, they have been in the market for long, they understand the importance of data protection. So what I can assure you and the members of public is the data we collect is totally safe, properly archived in our offices.
Fantastic.
It can only be accessed by the authorized personnel.
I think that's what people
And there is also something like just add on to what the chairman has said in terms of there are some also protocols that we engage and enter into with insurance companies and all those people. We also sign, you know, similar protocols with or other service providers. That information that we are giving. First of all, if it's medical, sometimes we need to share it with claims assessor or any other person for that matter, but it can only be around and what you have around us. For instance, as brokers, and I think our members of the public need to know this, we never get to know at all, even sometimes when you go to hospital, especially if you're having a card, and your visit to the hospital has absolutely no issue. I never even get to know that you're actually sick.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
And even when I get to know you're sick, it's only perhaps you are told, sorry, this particular
cannot because
drug
of-
Is excluded.
is excluded. Then you call me and say, can you ask the insurance company? And if they want me to help me, you as a patient most likely would have to agree for disclosure. So we never get at all
It can't
to
be
ever-
without the consent
Yes.
of
we
the
never,
client.
the insurance company will never disclose to us what you are sick for. So
Fantastic.
when that information that we normally collect, even when it goes out there, even ourselves,
Yeah.
we never get to know about it.
Yes.
Okay, this is getting more interesting. We need to take a break because really, Kwanza data privacy, I think it's really,
Yes.
it's really sensitive to a lot of people, and that's why we've taken a lot of time right there. We're going to take a very short break as we listen into what Emmanuel has to say during this break on matters investment. When it comes to investment, what are those things that you look out for? Let's listen in, and we'll be right back with much more on strategic growth and market expansion.
When you're looking to make an investment. And I would begin by saying the one and foremost thing you need to look at is what is the return on that investment. So you want to ensure that you're putting your money in a vehicle that will give you a better return on this investment. The second thing you need to ask yourself or consider when you're looking to make an investment is what is your risk appetite. So when you're looking at your risk appetite, you're asking yourself, am I willing, for example, to forego the capital that I have invested? In investment, we say the higher risk, the higher the return, but also there's a potential that you could lose your capital. And so it's good as an individual, assess your level of risk appetite. If, for example, you're someone who does not have a lot of money, then you're better off in investments that are not risky. So look out for investments that are less risky. If you're someone who is looking to diversify your investments, then it allows you to invest in avenues that could be a bit most likely more risky, but also have the potential to give you a better return. And last but not least, I've also, and I will keep emphasizing, that invest your money in regulated investment avenues. Look at who this company that is looking to invest your money, how are they registered? Do some due diligence. Are they regulated by an authority? Because if they are not, then there's a high chance also that you could lose your investment. So you'd rather invest your money in a company that is regulated, because then you know if anything happens, you'll have a recourse. So those for me would be the top 3 considerations to make when you're looking to invest your money.
Amazing right there. If you have any investment idea, then there you go. Emmanuel has given you some tips on how to go about it. And I'm sure insurance is part of it when it comes to investment. You cannot invest without having insurance in your statement of investing. Let's look at, the socials, gentlemen. And someone is here saying, yeah, there we have it. Good morning, Sally and the guests. I'm interested to know how our data is protected if there's an insurance cover for our data. I think that's something that's quite, what we've really talked about. But probably, Rap Lagat, you may want to respond to that?
Yes.
How is the data I think we've responded to how it's protected.
Yes.
But is there an insurance cover for their data out there, or our data out there when it's out there? Can you insure it?
Now, brokers have what we call professional indemnity, okay? Which you can now, brokers can extend the limits to include data protection. But the main purview of the professional indemnity is to cover in case you do not undertake your professional duties in a manner desired in the Insurance Act. But we will now extend the cover to also include data protection, so that in the event that the data you collect or the information you collect from the client for some reason somehow leaks to another, which in most cases it doesn't. But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it leaks, then that cover will take care of it.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
we have.
I think it also perhaps the other thing to add there is that insurance basically also, like I said earlier, innovation I take precedence in most of the instances.
Okay.
I think you remember something like terrorism. Terrorism, when me and John, we joined the industry, was a
Different.
was an exclusion. You not even touch it. Mobile phones, it was specifically, in fact, in bold, excluded. But as the numbers continue growing
Yeah.
and the need for it, terrorism today is a normal cover. Mobile phones are covered from the morning to evening.
Yeah.
It's like very easy.
Yeah.
So even data as a policy in terms of where if I lose my data and
Yeah.
everything else, I think as we continue getting more and more data, more and more information, more and more people, because we need numbers. Obviously, it would be in a couple of years to come, would actually be a cover by
Okay.
itself, just like you have terrorism. So that if your data today is lost, you can walk into an insurance company. Right now, it is so expensive. Data is everything to organizations.
Yeah.
So if today a company loses data, then it means most likely they have lost everything. Could be
Okay.
trade secrets and what have you.
Right.
So I think our market is also growing, and as it grows, like I think John has said, then we also bring it on board,
Okay.
and ensure that now we come up with a product that is data focused.
Okay.
But I think that is a good area. In terms of now some of the things that we're seeing in growing, that is one of the issues. I'm sure
Okay.
in the next couple of years, we'll be able to see it as a proper standalone cover.
All right. I like that you've mentioned about growth because, we definitely there's growth in the insurance sector.
Yes.
But what is the future of, the insurance in our country right now when you look at the future, Arab Lagat?
The future is bright in my view.
Okay.
The future is bright. There's a lot of growth. Just maybe to continue even from where my colleague is
Yeah.
saying, there are a lot of products now that are coming. And I've told you what the market is doing is to respond to the market needs. I'll tell you this year now, cybercrime is the top product that is
Yeah.
now selling. Every organization would want to buy a cyber security cover. So there is a lot of opportunity in terms of growth. There's a lot of opportunity in terms of now reaching the markets that were not reached before. For example, I told you about microinsurance.
Yeah.
It was something that people did not consider. But over a period of time now, we have realized that there's a lot of opportunity there. So in terms of the future, I can tell you the future for me is bright.
Okay.
Good, a lot of opportunities going forward. And as we now talk about, we're having a conference for the brokers, maybe we'll talk about it later on. One of the things that is key
Yeah.
is innovation and enhancing the technology so that we get to reach the people who are not reaching. Initially, for you to talk to a market segment, you have to use the local DC and all that to meet people. But nowadays, when you have a product and you just embed it in the technology, people are able to know about it. So there's a lot of growth in insurance,
Okay.
and the future for me is good.
Okay.
Yes.
When you look at brokers, Mwangi, then how can they leverage on the regional integration, and excuse me, and frameworks like programs, EAC, for example, how can they leverage on that in that space of insurance?
Good, thank you. And I know Chairman perhaps may want to allude to that because one of the things I handed over to him
Yeah.
was the membership to what we now call East African Broker Association,
Right.
where we belong. So we brought all the brokers associations in the East African region
Yeah.
under the auspices of what now we call East African Broker Association, where we have a body that is basically looking at the interest of brokers and, of course, the insureds in the whole of East African region. So the 5 countries of East Africa, from Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, we all under one auspices. And like he has also mentioned in the meeting that we are going into, all those countries are represented. We are finding it very easy today to do business with people in Congo through our relationship in people who speak French without having to worry whether I speak French now or not, because that was one of our barriers to entry to
Being
countries.
Anglophones,
Because as Anglophone. So that is a big plus for us.
Okay.
In terms of also servicing, remember quite a number of Kenyan companies now are going regional. We don't have to set brick and mortar anymore in terms of following those clients, those clients in respective countries, and particularly in the East African region. Because of this association, and that's what we are leveraging on, I can now have a liaison office through a friendly broker on the other side, who we can do business together. So we are seeing a lot of integration and a lot of alignment in our setup. So we are working very, very closely with the rest of the associations. We are pushing for the same registrations in terms of standardization, so that what happens in Tanzania is also happening in Kenya. Our own regulators, they have their own also association for the region, in fact, for the African region as a whole. So we are also seeing the regulators themselves having their own association. Practitioners like ourselves, we are also seeing that. We hope that we can be able now also to bring the insurance companies together as well, so that we all can work together. That I can be able to underwrite a policy in Kenya, it can be honored in Rwanda, or vice versa. So those are some of the areas that we are working together. But the chairman perhaps may want to do more, because I know this week is hosting. We call them presidents of the East African Broker Association this week in Mombasa.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, we're having a conference. It starts today in Mombasa. And as we alluded by Anthony, all the 5 regions are represented by at least 5 or so delegates who are also leaders in their markets. So what we are doing now is to come together and say then, how do we work together? So that, as he has told you, if you have a customer who has business, say in Burundi, in Rwanda, in Uganda, you need not be there. You just call your counterpart from the other side, and you'll be able to offer service to them. And then, of course, in terms of remuneration, which brokers earn a commission, we'll be able then to agree how do we share it. So nowadays, we don't need to work out to say, I'm going to set up an office in Rwanda. I don't need to do that. These colleagues of ours who are coming, and this conference that we're having has now spread across the region. So we keep on moving from one country to another and to understand the dynamics that are happening, and we're able to collaborate and work together. So in terms of growth, is that brokers in Kenya now are able to even do business outside Kenya and service their clients using now the linkages that we have with the East African ESC and the other regions.
How successful has that been?
No, it is successful.
I can give you an example.
Yes.
One, because I think you asked a successful issue.
Yes.
I had a client who's a client from Kenya. He went to Burundi.
Right.
In fact, he was not even my client. He was a friend of my client. He travels to Burundi. Unfortunately, there was an accident. The police that he went into, police station that he went into, they were only speaking French. So, and he's an English speaker. So he called back and said, how do I get help? So my friend called me and said, would you please help me? He didn't even know how I could help. I called my French-speaking friend in Burundi. And within an hour's time, he had traveled almost at the middle of Burundi. Rescued him from, was able basically now to converse in French with the police station and everything else. And in 2 days, my friend was back. So, we have very many of such cases that we can always give time,
the case study is
so
successful.
it's actually very, very successful. We are now collaborating in terms. We have even what we call Commercial PTA. We have
Yellow cards.
One common insurance cover for third-party risks across the region. So when you have an accident in any of these African countries, you are treated like you have a local cover. Otherwise, then what would have happened is that your vehicle would be detained in that particular country until then either you sort out.
But how affordable is that?
No, it is.
It is
affordable.
It is
very,
affordable.
very affordable.
Yeah, it's affordable.
Yeah, we are looking at something like 3,000 or 4,000 shillings for that kind of.
And you're able to cross.
Yes,
the border.
you're able to cross. So even when you are going, you just buy that PTA from your local primary cover, and you cross with it. And you have claims there. That PTA now yellow card comes, and you are sorted out when you are there.
Okay, so, let's talk about these underinsured sectors, like for example, agriculture, some trades, the youth market, or for young people. How can now these brokers better connect with such, the underinsured sectors, for example?
Yeah, I like you've come with the youth. In Kenya, we call them the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs.
Yes.
The Gen Zs, and I'm happy about them. These people, they want solutions there and there.
There and then,
They don't want this situation where you tell them you
They
have
call
to do
them
this.
microwave solutions.
So for them,
Fast.
from the comfort of their phone, they want to access a product easily. And that's why we are now saying, in terms of digital connectivity,
Yeah.
the brokers now have taken advantage,
Okay.
so that our products are able to sell. Nowadays, you don't need to go to the office of an insurance company or your insurance broker. From the comfort of your seat, you just upload your logbook,
Okay.
your KYC documents, and within a minute or so,
Yeah.
you have been prompted to pay, you pay, and you get your insurance cover on phone, and you print from wherever you want. Of course, we are still working now with the regulator to see then in terms of the cover, because remember the Traffic Act that we have currently still insists that you must display your certificate on the motor vehicle. So it forces people again to go and look for a printer somewhere to print. But in the coming legislation that may come, we would be advising the regulator to allow that in the event that you are told you need proof of insurance,
Yeah.
from the comfort of your phone, you should be able to show the police this is my cover or whoever wants it, instead of printing it. So we are using now that because these young people, they want solutions there. They don't want where they go far. Two is again to develop products that can be understood by them.
Right.
The young population, when you start talking to them about the old traditional products, for them you lose them. So we are again in most of our offices, you will realize we've recruited a lot of young generation in the workforce. Even at the training that we have now at the College of Insurance, we are now having young people.
Okay.
So what we are doing, and each underwriter now is trying to work at, is to develop products that can easily be bought by the young people. So we are trying to understand them, work in their generations, use AI also to see them
Exactly.
what would they be looking for, and then benchmark with the even Europe and the market to see then what works well for them. So in terms of products for the youth, we have a number of them that they can actually take advantage of. Traditionally, when we started, I and Anthony, we were being told now that you are going to have children, you need to start saving for education. But when you go now to a young person and you tell them that, they will be wondering, I start saving for 18 years.
Yeah.
It
doesn't make sense to them.
It doesn't make
I can't
sense.
access
So,
my money.
yes, and I can't access money. So they want something that is quick. So we are now sitting down, and even in I am hoping one of the resolutions that will come up from this conference we are going to have in terms of innovation is then to agree as an industry. Because remember, I've told you, this conference we're having, it brings all the players in Kenya, insurance sector, all the insurance companies, all the insurance, all the agents and all the brokers will all be meeting there. And for us is to understand what then do we need to do going forward so that we're able to tap into these young people coming in. And there are quite many of them. So, and the advantage of them is that they are technological, they are
tech savvy.
Tech savvy, yes. So they will be able to compare easily what the market is offering. So if you give them a product, they quickly Google and see in South Africa how do they do it, in Europe how do they do it, in the US how do they do it. So we are trying also to up our game so that we are able to get products that can suit them. But I can tell you we are ready, and the next generation of insurance professionals is ready to serve.
I love that. Yeah,
Yes,
the mentorship and all that.
Yes.
Is there a lot of mentorship there?
Yes, with the training we are now having even after they finish the university, they still come to our College of Insurance, and we take them through maybe a year or two to learn insurance. But what we've also done in terms of developing even these young people, we are having around 200 insurance brokers. Each broker in a year would most likely be having internship for 2 graduates, so that we mentor them.
Because of time, I would want just to know, like, having been at the helm, and advising the board at some point, do you see the association evolving, slowly by slowly to meet the modern market challenges? One of them is the Gen Zs, which have been met. What other challenges are there, and is the association ready?
I think the association for the longest has been really firefighting a lot of issues. It is now, for instance, we are gearing now for the next level, like you have asked. We just installed what we call a CRM. You know, that is, and for purpose of our, you know, our viewership, in terms of this is a NITI platform that we basically put in place. I will be able to be engaging with our members so that we actually get to know.
Okay.
And the Secretariat, and I think this is one of the issues that he's handling, is the issues of research, which we have never had before.
Yes.
So we are now finding us have to do a little bit of more research. You know, our Secretariat, which is a full-fledged Secretariat, now is much more empowered to be able to carry out research through even this CRM and engage with the members.
Yeah.
We have a communication channel with all our members just to find out what are some of the issues that are affecting the members. So I see the association really rising up to the occasion. Part of the things that I think in Mombasa we'll be doing is launching our strategic plan for the next 5 years.
Okay.
It is a key pillar, you know, the whole of sustainability of the association as a modern organization be able to, you know, to deal with the current problems and challenges that are facing the insurance industry is a key pillar of our next strategic plan. So yes, I see the association really being not just a lobby body, just to lobby for the welfare of the custom of the members, but actually now also gearing to meet the needs of the consumer. Because the consumer, like I said earlier, is the core vocal point of the association. We are the defenders of the consumers. So I think we are ready. You know, we have now the tools. We are not there yet in terms of all that we need to do, but the journey has started.
Okay. Arap Lagat, what's your long-term vision when it comes to Kenya's brokerage sector? Probably the next 5 years. What's your vision?
Well, my vision in the next 5 years is to see that we have an association that is responsive to the current member needs. Just as Anthony has told you, 70 years ago, our forefathers, when they were forming the association, was mainly to lobby for favorable legislation, which we still do. But now we have gone ahead and now said, we want the association to be quite responsive. Responsive in terms of they're able to understand what affects the customers. They're able to have what we call strong research institutions, so that if a member calls, they're able to get prompt response. They're able to get tested answers to what they are looking for. The association, as we speak now, has become also a body that has all the data about if you are a broker and you are looking for maybe staff to hire, you reach to our association and they'll be able to go into their database and give you potential clients, not clients in terms of human resource. So two, we are also now going into what we call the CBD points, so that we want our members to be updated on regular basis on what is happening. So as you attend our breakfast meetings, you attend our conferences, you attend our trainings, we give you CBD points, which is now recognized by the Insurance Institute of Kenya. So we are now developing an industry that is a bit responsive to immediate members' needs, an industry that is able then to give members the information that they need as soon as they want. Now, thank God to our constitution. Our constitution now is not like long time when the regulator would just come with laws. Nowadays, if there are any proposed legislation, it has to go through public participation, and we are one of the key stakeholders. So when that comes,
key stakeholders, with a lot of impact right there. I think I need to bring this conversation to an end, but after Mombasa, probably we can have a part 2 of this, because it's quite interesting. So much to discuss, isn't it?
It is. Yes.
So let me take this juncture to really thank you and appreciate you. I know there's so much to discuss, but we'll do it the next time, right? I'll definitely have you here for part 2 of this. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you, Sami.
Asanteni sana. And to you, dear viewer and listener, wherever you are, I just want to say a very big thank you. And if you're just joining in, please note that you can have this conversation on our YouTube channel, Family Media. Please make sure you join it, because there are amazing tips right there when it comes to matters, you know, strategic growth and market expansion. Asante sana. And also want to thank you so much for the Lamu project. Our baby Lamu actually Our Lamu is taking off, and we are now here ready to serve you from Lamu by God's grace. We want to say thank you and God bless you. And also, if you want to be a partner, you can do that by sending the word partner to 20316, SMS line, or 0786 316 316. That is our WhatsApp line. God bless you and keep you. See you again tomorrow on Matters Relationship. And remember also, for support, you can do that through paybill number 316 316, and the account name is your telephone number. And let's get to cooperative bank account. You can do that through cooperative bank account number 0113 6000 799 and the account name is TBN Family Media. God bless you and keep you. See you again tomorrow on Matters Relationship when we talk about attachment styles. See you then.